Stay low. Stay ready.
At Euro 900 on July 4, 1943, Private First Class Evan Evans crouched behind sandbags on Rendova Island, watching 16 Japanese Betty bombers emerge through broken clouds over Blanche Channel. At 22 years old and just 3 weeks into this muddy hell, he had 0 aircraft shot down. The bombers headed straight for what Marines called Suicide Point. 2 days earlier, on July 2nd, a Japanese raid killed 59 Americans and wounded 77 on the same beach. Japanese forces had sent dozens of bombers and fighters that day. Rendova's radar sets were knocked out by prior attacks, leaving no early warning. Bombers came in low over the water around 1400 hours. They struck fuel dumps first, then ammunition, then the field hospital. Evans watched from his gun position as fires turned the beach into an inferno. Explosions hurled debris hundreds of feet high. Marines ran through flames to reach the wounded, but most did not survive. The battalion lost some of its heavy artillery pieces, trucks melted, and ammunition cooked off for hours. Every supply ship had to pass Suicide Point on Rendova's northern tip, and every Marine could see it burn. Evans and his crew fired dozens of rounds that day but scored no hits. Bombers moved too fast. Without radar, gun directors relied on binoculars and stopwatches. Shells often burst after the Bettys had passed. That night, the battalion commander gathered the 90mm crews and warned that the Japanese would return, and next time, fewer Marines might remain to bury the dead. Evans cleaned his gun until early morning. The 90mm M1 anti-aircraft gun weighed 9 tons and fired a 24-pound shell up to 33,000 feet at up to 28 rounds per minute. But without radar, it struggled against fast targets like the Mitsubishi G4M Betty, which topped 270 mm. The 9th Defense Battalion landed on Rendova on June 30th. Their mission: protect the beachhead while Army artillery shelled Japanese positions across the channel on New Georgia. They brought 3 batteries of 90mm guns, 4 guns each, 12 total, to create an impenetrable flak umbrella. Instead, they faced repeated raids. Rain on July 3rd turned Rendova into a swamp, but it kept Japanese planes grounded. Mechanics salvaged parts and repaired equipment. By dawn on July 4th, SCR-268 radar sets were partially operational. Gun directors and fire control systems linked up across all 12 positions. Evans loaded shells into the ready rack as his crew ran drills. Loader, rammer, fuse setter, gunner. At 0845, radar detected a large formation inbound from Rabaul, 120 miles out, bearing 320 degrees, altitude 14,000 feet. Heading down the slot toward Rendova. The commander ordered all guns ready. This time, they had radar. Radar updates came every 30 seconds. The formation split. One group veered toward New Georgia. The other, 16 bombers with heavy fighter escort, continued toward Rendova. They descended to 12,000 feet. Combat air patrol was drawn away elsewhere, leaving Rendova's guns alone. Evans watched his gun director, a Sperry M4 mechanical computer that used radar data to calculate intercepts. It sent signals to the mount for automatic adjustments, though the radar integration was imprecise. Best crews achieved bursts within 200 meters. The 90mm shell's lethal radius was about 50 meters. Multiple guns firing together offered the best chance. At 30 miles out, the order came to fire. All 12 guns roared. Each fired every few seconds, sending 24-pound projectiles skyward at 2,800 feet per second. The noise drowned out speech. Concussion shook dust from sandbags. Evans' crew fell into rhythm. Loader grabbed shell. Rammer shoved it in. Fuse setter dialed time. Breech closed. Gun fired. Casing ejected. All in seconds. Radar tracked precisely now. Shells burst ahead of the tight V formation. Japanese adjusted course but pressed on. Closer in, bursts grew accurate. One shell exploded near the lead Betty, tearing its right engine. Fire spread along the wing. The bomber dropped out, trailing smoke, and crashed into the channel. The formation tightened. Bomb bay doors opened, but accurate flak disrupted them. Several bombers trailed smoke. One lost its tail and spun in. Others sustained damage. Bombers released early over open water, missing the island entirely. Water geysers erupted offshore. Evans' battery locked on targets. Shells found marks. Concussion waves forced dives. Shrapnel severed controls. direct hits exploded engines or wings. Bombers scattered, formation broken. Some climbed, others dove low. None escaped the radar-guided fire. One by one, Bettys fell, wings folded, fuselages shattered, bomb bays detonated internally. Debris rained into the ocean, oil slicks spread. By 09:30, only 4 bombers fled northwest, damaged and limping. The attack ended in disaster for the Japanese. Ceasefire came at 09:32, after 27 minutes of engagement. Evans' gun alone fired 53 rounds. The 12 guns expended about 88 total. Gun crews claimed 12 confirmed kills. Unprecedented efficiency against 16 bombers. No bombs hit the island, 0 American casualties in the raid. Wreckage washed ashore. The beach resumed unloading. Suicide Point had become a graveyard for Japanese aircraft. Higher command confirmed the tally and requested details on the radar director integration that achieved such accuracy. Lessons spread across the Pacific, improving anti-aircraft defenses. Subsequent Japanese raids on Rendova grew timid. Small, high-altitude, nighttime attempts that accomplished little. Daylight raids became suicidal. With Rendova secure, artillery pounded Munda relentlessly. Munda airfield fell on August 5th. American fighters soon operated from there, shifting momentum in the Central Solomons. The 9th Defense Battalion later defended Munda and Guam, adding to their tally. But July 4th remained their standout day. Evans rose through ranks, served in Korea, and retired after long service. In 1993, a National Archives researcher found a photo, Series 127 GDU, of Evans and his crew beside their 90mm gun, captioned for wiping out 12 Japanese bombers in one day. It reconnected him to forgotten history before his passing in 2004. The engagement demonstrated how repaired radar, skilled crews, and precise fire control turned vulnerable positions into deadly defenses, altering Japanese air tactics in the theater. The Battle of Munda Point, July 2nd, August 5th, 1943, was a key land engagement in the New Georgia Campaign during World War II's Pacific Theater. U.S. forces aimed to capture the Japanese airfield at Munda Point on New Georgia Island in the Solomon Islands as part of Operation Cartwheel. The Allied planned to advance through the Central Solomons and isolate the major Japanese base at Rabaul on New Britain. The battle featured grueling jungle warfare, dense terrain, fortified Japanese defenses, and high casualties on both sides. It marked one of the most costly U.S. offensives in the Solomons up to that point, highlighting challenges in tropical combat and leading to tactical adaptations. NB-02 5771 E6 80631D. After the Guadalcanal victory, February 1943, Allies under Admiral William Halsey targeted New Georgia to secure airfields for further advances toward Bougainville. The Japanese built Munda Airfield in late 1942 as a staging base, reinforcing it heavily. Japanese forces defended the Central Solomons to protect approaches to Rabaul, using nighttime barge reinforcements, the Tokyo Express. Primarily U.S. Army units from 4th Corps, under Major General Oscar Griswold from mid-July. Key divisions: 43rd Infantry Division, Initial Assault, Major General John Hester, reinforced by 37th and 25th Infantry Divisions. Support: Marine tanks, artillery from Rendova Island, naval gunfire and air support. Total ground forces: over 26,000 involved in the wider campaign. Southeastern Detachment, Major General Noboru Sasaki. Initial defenders: 5,000 to almost 10,500 troops, including 229th Infantry Regiment, Naval Landing Forces, and reinforcements from Kolombangara. Strong fortifications, bunkers, pillboxes, machine gun nests around the airfield. June 30th, 1943, preliminary landings on Rendova Island, across Blanche Channel from Munda, to establish artillery base. Other diversions at Segi Point, Viru Harbor, and Wickham Anchorage. July 5, U.S. 43rd Division crosses to Zanana Beachhead on New Georgia. Slow advance westward along Munda Trail begins amid jungle obstacles and ambushes. Mid-July, advance stalls, Japanese nighttime counterattack, July 17-18, halted but inflicts heavy losses. July, reinforcements arrive, renewed offensive with tanks and heavy artillery. August, WWII 4, intense assaults on key hills, e.g. Bibelo, Kokengolo, use of flamethrowers, demolitions, and close air support. August 5th, airfield captured intact at 1410, remaining Japanese resistance crushed. Fighting occurred in dense jungle with limited visibility, swamps, and steep ridges. Japanese employed deep bunkers and infiltration tactics. U.S. troops faced exhaustion, disease, e.g. malaria, and high neuropsychiatric casualties in the 43rd Division. Key U.S. adaptations included combined arms with tanks, flamethrowers, direct artillery to our naval support. 3 Medals of Honor were awarded for actions during the battle. U.S. 1,094 killed, died of wounds, 3,873 wounded, total 4,794, 5,000 casualties, including disease, combat fatigue. Japanese, WWII 500, 4,700 killed. Many survivors evacuated to Kolombangara. U.S. forces secured the airfield on August 5, 1943. Seabees repaired and expanded it. First U.S. aircraft landed August 14th. Munda became a major base supporting the Bougainville campaign, late 1943. Japanese evacuated New Georgia by October, shifting defenses northward. The battle's high cost influenced Halsey to adopt island-hopping tactics, bypassing strong points like Kolombangara for Vella La Vella. Munda highlighted the brutality of jungle warfare and improved U.S. anti-aircraft and ground tactics in the Pacific.